4 law enforcement agents are dead in a shootout outside Waco, Texas tonight.
He calls himself the Lamb of God.
We wanted to get the kids out of there.
We are going to fulfill our commitment to God.
Lead your people out, David, to be a Messiah, not a destroyer.
Outdoor Christmas play likely to look a bit different this year. I'll show you what that means. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, UP state legislators hold a town hall to discuss recently passed energy laws, what residents had to say about the plan to get Michigan's energy from 100% renewable sources. Plus, why a state department is encouraging all homeowners to test their houses for radon and how to do it. And just weeks before the first presidential primary of the season, a Colorado court says Trump is ineligible to run. We'll have the latest on campaign 2024. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Another very cold one out there. Ariane, how are we looking out there tonight?
It was very chilly when I was out there earlier tonight. I did see that moon, friends. It's been a little bit clear this evening, but as you can see, radar showing us, yes, radar, the first name basis here, showing fairly clear conditions, but we've got, as far as precipitation, but we've got clouds moving in. Want to give a heads up as well to Delta and South Schoolcraft counties. Tonight, there could be some minor lakeshore flooding and beach erosion there, so heads up if you're heading along the Lake Michigan coastline. But today we saw a high of 30 degrees. We'll stay in that 15 to 20 range this evening. I'll have more after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. New at 11, Republican state legislators spoke with Delta County residents tonight about the state's recently passed My Healthy Climate Plan, which aims to get 100% of the state's energy from renewable sources in less than 20 years. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has the report.
State Senator Ed McBroom and Representatives Dave Preston and Greg Markinen addressed constituents at Bay College about new legislation that pushes Michigan toward 100% clean energy by 2040. All three voted against the plan, with McBroom saying the technology isn't there yet.
That's particularly true for us on the carbon capture issues here in the Upper Peninsula, where the ability to inject carbon into the ground is simply not geologically feasible. Our natural gas units, which we just installed a few years ago, according to this law, those generating units will have to be taken offline.
Preston says the legislation means higher utility rates and lower reliability.
There's just so much in this legislation that's unknown. What is the cost of a renewable energy credit that is going to need to be purchased because these solar farms and these wind farms have not been constructed yet?
With Markinen saying the legislation diminishes the people's power.
This takes local control away from every township government in the UP and gives it to an appointed commission appointed by the governor.
Several audience members voiced alternative ideas to parts of the legislation, including a bill allowing for the installation of solar panels on farmland.
I would like to suggest that the legislature consider new technology for the siting of solar panels on water. It's possible there wouldn't be any farmland that would be affected.
Is there a specific reason they don't put them on buildings in the city? Why do they have to take over farmland?
This was something that many of us tried to bring forward. There are tons of vacant properties around the state. Many of them are very close to the cities where they need this power. They should have spent far more emphasis on doing the developments in those places.
Preston closed the town hall by saying his primary concern is taking care of Michigan's core industries as the state looks ahead to 2040.
We've got thousands of jobs at stake up here in the UP. We've got to make sure that they have affordable energy to be able to carry on.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
We continue to learn more about the Delta County Airport's administrative crisis as the airport is taking steps to correct ongoing problems and prevent future ones. The airport's passenger facility charge, or PFC account, which is designated for funds to offset airport improvement costs, has been in a non-collection state since November 2020. Earlier this month, manager Robert Ranstadler told the County Board of Commissioners that caused the airport to miss out on $180,000. Previous manager Andrea Newmelin has said the account status had nothing to do with her and that it was due to the pandemic and issues with an audit. Since uncovering old Airport Advisory Board minutes, Ranstadler has found that Newmelin brought the issue to the board 10 times between November of 2020 and July of 2022, telling them that because the airport's accounting firm was behind on audits, the airport couldn't apply for that money.
Suggesting a failure to submit the application caused the account to go into non-collection status. Moving forward, who's ultimately responsible for this thing? How do we communicate better with each other to make sure this doesn't happen again? Airport manager needs to be working with the consultant to pre-draft, to pre-plan.
To avoid future issues with the PFC account, Ranstadler says it will become a part of the minutes for all future airport meetings. January is Radon Action Month, and the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy is calling attention to the importance of regularly testing your home for radon levels. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with Eagle's indoor radon specialist to learn more about the process and the systems used to mitigate exposure.
Radon is a naturally occurring radioactive gas that comes from the breakdown of uranium in the soil.
Every home has some level of radon gas in it because all of our homes are in physical contact with the soil.
Leslie Smith is the indoor radon specialist with the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. He says one of the most common misconceptions he hears is that only old houses with basements are at risk for high levels of radon.
Radon is not an old home issue, it is an any home issue.
Smith stressed the importance of testing your home because of the potential health effects. Prolonged radon exposure is the second most common cause of lung cancer in the U.S., only behind smoking.
The radiation that comes from the radon gas and its radon decay products, when inhaled, can damage our lung tissue over time. We're talking like prolonged years of exposure of elevated levels of radon.
Radon gas comes into a house from the soil, through the foundation and the walls. Smith says there are short-term and long-term tests that can be done to determine the radon concentration. Short-term tests can be bought at most hardware stores, while long-term tests are usually done through the local health department. If the results come back with elevated levels of radon, Smith says the mitigation systems are fairly simple and usually consist of PVC piping that redirects the air from under the house outside.
By lowering the concentration of radon underneath the structure, it lowers the concentration of the radon indoors. It will never be zero indoors, but it sufficiently reduces the radon levels in the home.
Smith says that even if an initial test comes back with only low levels, radon testing should be done every 2 to 5 years to catch any fluctuations early and avoid long-term exposure. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Northern Michigan University is one step closer to building a new multi-million-dollar facility to expand classroom space on campus. Yesterday, Governor Whitmer signed the supplemental appropriations bill, which will give NMU $13.4 million to go toward its $19.1 million Northern Enterprise Center. The building will be attached to the C.B. Hedgecock building, and it'll give students updated classrooms and space for community use.
To have some retail space so our entrepreneurs can sell whatever it is that they happen to be creating. We're going to make it inviting for the community so that business people can turn to us, ask us for some help, kind of use our students for internships. We're looking forward to it.
The new facility will also link to the academic hall, giving students a way to travel between classes indoors through the winter. In the presidential race, Iowa Republicans will cast the first votes in less than 4 weeks, and the New Hampshire primary is just days after that. Former President Trump didn't address the news in a campaign speech just after Colorado's Supreme Court issued a major ruling to bar him from the 2024 primary ballot. Michael George has the report from New York.
Former President Donald Trump took the stage in Iowa Tuesday night, soon after Colorado's Supreme Court barred him from the state's 2024 primary ballot.
We're just 27 days away from Iowa's first in the nation. We're going to win the Iowa caucuses, and then we're going to crush crooked Joe Biden next November.
In the historic decision, the Colorado Supreme Court said Trump is ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause. The state Supreme Court justices were all appointed by Democratic governors. The Trump campaign issued a statement calling the ruling, quote, completely flawed and a scheme by the left wing to interfere in an election on behalf of crooked Joe Biden. The campaign vowed to challenge the ruling with an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court.
What we know is it doesn't mean that someone has to be convicted of sedition or insurrection. The terms engaged in insurrection is used in the 14th Amendment, not convicted, not found by a court.
Trump GOP presidential rival Vivek Ramaswamy also addressed supporters in Iowa and spoke out against the Colorado ruling.
It's appalling for the future of our country. We're not a country where we want the federal police state to decide who is or isn't running, and we don't want it to be decided by a small group of people behind the back of palace walls.
Meanwhile, former ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie are vying to gain ground against former President Trump. On Wednesday, President Biden heads to Milwaukee, where he's expected to deliver remarks on the nation's economy.
The Colorado Supreme Court decision marks the first time that Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. Meanwhile, President Biden is drawing low poll numbers for how he's handling the war between Israel and Hamas. That's according to a recent New York Times Siena College poll of registered voters across the U.S. That poll also shows that younger voters are more critical of the president and of his actions during this conflict. But the voters are split on what policymakers should do as the war continues. 44% of voters believe Israel should stop its military campaign in order to protect against civilian casualties, even if Hamas has not been fully eliminated, compared to 38% who said Israel should continue its military campaign until Hamas is fully eliminated, even if it means the civilian casualties in Gaza might continue. When it comes to the conflict, the polls show younger voters want Israel to stop their military operations in Gaza altogether, compared to older voters who believe Israel should continue. Political scientists say the president has been losing support from young voters. Those voters helped give Biden a boost in the 2020 election. But according to this poll, voters younger than 30 years old are favoring former President Donald Trump over Biden by 6%. Voters were also asked in the poll if there was an election today, who would they vote for? 46% said Trump, 44% said Biden. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break, plus a hotel boom around the country. A closer look at why thousands of new hotels are being built and where. And a successful season for a Delta County Christmas tree farm. We check in with Sargent's Evergreens. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
This week, Colbert's New with Nicki Minaj, John Baptiste, Adam Driver, plus Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. New Colbert this week on CBS.
Superior Collision is seeking a certified auto body technician for full-time employment. Qualified candidates can call or apply in person, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, Olympic champ Tara Lipinski is here.
Now we have a baby
Now
girl.
you have a baby girl.
One of my friends made a duplicate outfit.
This is so precious.
My name is Nicholas Santa Claus.
Lil Rel Howard is in the house. I love it.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
Watching Andy Griffith has one result.
Makes you feel good, don't it? Kind of a warm feeling right in the middle of your stomach, your head 2 or 3 feet above your shoulders. You know why you're feeling that way, don't you, boy?
'Cause I'm pooped.
The Andy Griffith Show, weeknights at 8 on MeTV 19.1. Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasic.
Temperatures starting to cool on down. Most of us in that 20-degree range. Some clouds over in Houghton and in the Far East. Everyone else has some clear skies at the moment. Those clouds, though, starting to increase. We'll definitely see them covering the majority of the UP around 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. And our lows looking pretty similar to what we're already seeing right now. Coldest in the interior west half of the UP, of course. So some snow showers up there in Canada heading our way. Possibly we could see some flurries tomorrow. I'll show you where in just a minute, but the radar is showing very dry skies for now. So the next 3 days, or I should say tonight and the next 2 days, we'll have mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, but we could see a little bit of sunshine down south there, and those temperatures are starting to warm up, believe it or not, just a little bit. We'll be seeing some 40s later on in the week, believe that or not. We also have winter solstice coming up. I've got more on that in just a little bit. Winds right now coming out of the southwest. We'll have a few changes of direction here for the next couple of days. Fairly calm this evening and into tomorrow morning, where we'll have northeast winds taking over. Not seeing too many gusts right now, maybe a few breezy moments here and there, up to 20 miles an hour possibly, and then easterly winds taking over on that Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, winds coming out of the southeast. Like I mentioned, a few changes of direction, but the wind staying fairly calm. So clouds increasing this evening into our morning. Those snow showers along the Ontonagon coast, as well as Baraga and Marquette counties, and those will continue pretty much into the afternoon, but we're not expecting an accumulation or really travel impacts as far as that goes. Some clearer skies over in the east half of the UP for the evening to start, and then we'll have clouds increasing as well into our Thursday morning. Maybe a few flurries down south here, especially as that wind is changing and pushing snow up from that area, and then maybe a little bit there on the Keweenaw Peninsula later on in the evening. But again, no accumulation. We're probably going to have a green and brown winter for some of us. All right, temps tomorrow averaging about 23 at 7 a.m. Make sure you bundle up your student. It is almost winter break. Just a reminder for that. Cloudy conditions, and then we could see a little bit of sunshine, but it's going to be a little bit chilly out there. And then how the temps are going, I mentioned they're on the rise. By Saturday and Sunday, we'll be in that 40-degree range, and then Christmas Eve could be about 45. You might be riding your bike with your family. I know I will be, unless there are some rain showers. Also, we have a cold moon, a full moon on the way. You can see that the 25th, 26th, and 27th of December. Your 7-day outlook for Marquette, we'll see about 38 on Friday.
Thank you very much, Ariane. There's a surge of hotel openings since the pandemic, and many more in the pipeline. In the U.S. alone, there are over 5,500 hotels under construction. That's according to Lodging Econometrics. Wendy Gillette reports from New York on some of the new hotels around the world getting a lot of buzz.
The bustling bar at So Paris may be familiar to eagle-eyed fans of the Netflix hit Emily in Paris, since it's featured in season 3.
I just need to know, are you on my team or not?
The artsy hotel filled with fresh flowers where youthful staff don designer duds opened just over a year ago, offering funky rooms with expansive views, a spa managed by French brand Codage, and a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city.
It's an amazing 360 view over Paris to see all the monuments.
A few hours south in the Burgundy wine region, Como Le Montrachet opened its doors earlier this year, the first Como hotel in France, one of the properties we visited for a special raid. Los Angeles resident Amy Bryan stayed there this summer.
It feels really just sophisticated and clean and lovely.
Bees buzz about lavender in the garden next to the restaurant's terrace, where multi-course French meals are served. The building dates back to 1824 in the tiny picturesque village of Pouligny-Montrachet.
It's one of the best region for the white wine and the red wine in France.
In California wine country, the Four Seasons Resort and Residences Napa Valley sits in the middle of a vineyard with rooms overlooking the vines.
We're the only luxury hotel that is set amongst a working winery in the Napa Valley, so our guests literally get a hands-on experience while staying here.
That translates into high-end pours without leaving the grounds. paired with Oro Restaurant's tasting menu that just received a Michelin star.
The culinary options also take a leading role here at the new Ritz-Carlton Nomad in New York City, where Michelin-starred chef Jose Andres helms the food and drink program.
Pick your potion in the lobby bar before hitting Mediterranean restaurant Zaitinya, or head up to the swanky rooftop lounge where the city lights dance.
This is the first time in my 30-year career that I've worked in a hotel where you have an exceptional view from every single room.
A sanctuary to dream about that next perfect trip.
Lodging Econometrics predicts almost 700 new hotels are expected to open in the U.S. next year. This sales season is wrapping up for a Christmas tree lot in Escanaba. Sargent's Evergreen is a family-owned business that sells Christmas trees throughout the UP. The trees have been available outside of Elmers County Market with varieties including Fraser and Canaan fir, balsam, white and blue spruce, and Scotch pine. Staff say it's been a strong season, and although there have been economic challenges this year, they haven't dampened customers' enthusiasm for the holidays.
A little bit afraid of that, but it's gone pretty much the same as last year. We tried to keep our prices down, but we had to raise them a little bit because our costs are up. But we try to supply the Christmas spirit to the people, and that's what we're here for, to sell trees and make people happy.
Christmas trees are a year-long business for Sargent's Evergreen, so the team is already preparing for next Christmas. Dozens of Marquette County families had their Christmas wishes granted today thanks to a number of local organizations. After assembling baskets yesterday, volunteers from the St. Vincent de Paul, Negaunee Elks, and Super One handed out those baskets to 47 families in need. They included toys, winter apparel, and a Christmas dinner. Volunteers say it always teaches them to be humble and grateful, and they can see the positive impact it has on others.
We have 47 baskets. When 45 children, and we have one special basket, our Women of Steel, with the steel workers. They adopt one of our families, and they do an amazing work in the community.
The St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for more volunteers. Just head to our website for more information. A blood center is making sure UP hospitals have enough donations to get through the whole holiday season. The UP Regional Blood Center in Marquette held a blood drive today to help offset the decrease in donations during the holidays. The UP RBC is the sole blood provider for all 13 UP hospitals. Its donor services manager says donations are the only way for them to get the blood they need.
Artificial substitute for it. If you need blood, there's only one way to get it, and that's through volunteer blood donation. And we are the local supplier in the UP. So if you need blood in the UP, it's going to come from the UP Regional Blood Center.
The Regional Blood Center is always looking for new donors and is open on weekdays. Still ahead tonight, a new treatment option for new mothers. The oral medication now available to help with postpartum depression.
Escanaba and Delta County, home to beautiful beaches, Lake Michigan, lighthouses, pretty parks, and great people. It's why so many are proud to say, this is home. I'm Lily Simmons. I'll show you what's happening here every day. In your schools, your communities, and businesses. Sharing what makes this area so special.
Lily Simmons reports from Delta County. Weeknights at 6 and 11. Only on WZMQ 19 News.
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
This week, Colbert's New with Nicki Minaj, John Baptiste, Adam Driver, plus Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. New Colbert this week on CBS.
The UP's show for family fun. Join me for Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Who'll be there when there are voices that need to be heard? Who'll be there when amazing rises up? Or a need for a warning comes falling down? Who will be our ears and our eyes? Will you? Start a career in the broadcasting industry. Whether it's on air or behind the scenes, there's a world of opportunities waiting for you. Be there. Go to BeThereMichigan.com.
Home for CBS is WZMQ 19.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
About 1 in 8 women who have given birth experience symptoms of postpartum depression. Now, the first oral treatment for women with PPD is available. Danya Backus has more on how it works and one mother's story on getting the help she needed.
Caitlin Pratt says her mental health worsened after the birth of her son, Kason.
I feel like my anxiety went through the roof. I had absolutely no motivation to do anything. I had a newborn baby who obviously needed me, and all I wanted to do was sleep.
3 months later, she knew she needed more help. She saw an ad for a clinical trial testing a new treatment for postpartum depression and enrolled. Her symptoms improved within days.
Full of energy. I was like bouncing off the walls. I was going to sleep and I woke up feeling rested.
Usual treatment could be with antidepressants, which take weeks to work. Now the FDA-approved prescription drug called Zurzuvae is available, the first pill to treat PPD.
There is such a great need for fast-acting antidepressant drugs in all types of depression, but particularly in the very vulnerable period where you have a postpartum mother and baby.
Dr. Samantha Meltzer-Brody with UNC Health ran one of the clinical trials. Research showed the medication, taken for 14 days, improved symptoms at day 15 and as early as 3 days for women with PPD.
For any mother who is feeling sad, blue in a way that is persistent or interfering with functioning, changes in eating or sleeping, or feeling hopeless, or having any thoughts that life is not worth living, these are all things that should make you contact your doctor right away.
It's really important to take care of yourself, not just your baby. Your baby is what matters most, I know, but they also need a happy, healthy mom.
Kason is now 3 years old. Caitlin says she's grateful she got the help she needed.
Researchers say the most common side effect of the drug is some sedation, but they say it would be given once a day at night, and the side effect for most people is very mild to moderate. In other health news, a holiday meal doesn't have to be unhealthy. Researchers in the UK say side dishes that go with a typical Christmas dinner can offer significant benefits. They suggest steaming Brussels sprouts, which help fight chronic conditions such as diabetes and cancer, carrots, which are associated with a 20% reduction in all types of cancer, and when it comes to potatoes, rooster potatoes have a nice red skin and are able to resist disease. And regular toothbrushing, even while in the hospital, could save lives. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital have linked brushing your teeth to lower rates of pneumonia for hospitalized patients and lower ICU mortality rates. Hospital-acquired pneumonia typically enters through bacteria in the mouth and then gets into the lungs. We've got a cloudy Wednesday ahead with a chance of some light flurries for some of us. Ariane has the outlook on the way. And a look at a new boutique in downtown Iron Mountain that has a little of everything. That's our final story after this break.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
Clouds are moving on in, but you might have a chance right now, especially if you're in the central portion of the UP, to see that moon. It's about half full or half empty, depending on how you look at it. Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna give it in the middle of the road because we've got mostly cloudy skies. We could see some flurries. Those temps are still gonna be mild. They're slowly warming up. And then just a reminder, on Thursday, friends, we have winter solstice. So if you're in the mood for that, it'll be officially winter, especially later on. And because it's winter solstice, this is the shortest day of the year, longest night. And then looking ahead, we have the vernal equinox, I believe. Yes, there, spring equinox starts in March. So just something to mark on your calendars. A couple presents for you before we go. We've got chances of freezing snow and drizzle coming on Friday, and those temperatures, though, still warming up.
Finally tonight, a new boutique recently opened up right in downtown Iron Mountain. Aloe Collective offers women's clothing and home goods and a chance to glam up with eyelashes, bridal makeup, or a spray tan. It's just across from the Michigan Welcome Center on Stevenson Avenue. It just opened up about 2 weeks ago and it's already restocking with fresh finds. The store owner says she's planning to update items weekly and plans for more fun community events.
To do something a little bit more, especially in the off-season, slower times. So I started this boutique. Aloe stands for a little of everything. So I just wanted to bring different pieces in for, ages from 20 years old all the way up to 90 years old.
Aloe Collective is open Monday and Tuesday from 11 to 6 and Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 7. A little of everything. That's really creative and clever.
I like that a lot. And you go, girl.
Yes.
Good for you.
Love to see new businesses.
Absolutely. We should go to Iron Mountain tomorrow.
We should. Maybe over the weekend when we've got some more time.
Shop hundreds of Lazy Boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
If you're over 40, we want you to think ahead for just a moment. Imagine your retirement, having all the money you need, all the income, every month.